Okay, now this is a tutorial on how to create a digital character in Photoshop CS4. I'm no Nico DiMatti, but okay, this is how I do it. Take a brush, first get a nice clean sheet of paper, preferably large, you can always scale it down later. Create a new layer. Brush, usually have it around 9 or so. Then draw your basic outline, what you might want it to be like. For the purpose of this, I already created it. Won't be time consuming. Okay, then after you create it, turn the opacity down on it, around 60% so you can see what you're doing. Then create a new layer above it. Use a pen tool, go around it, create basically what you want. This isn't very detailed, but use a pen tool because you can make edges, curves, whatnot. Control Z. Then once you have that, or just what you want to select, make sure you have it on a layer. Hold on. Okay, create a new layer above your basic outline and highlight it. Go to the paths, right down here, stroke path. Usually the default is to the brush, but to change the default, go here, right click, stroke. You do not want to simulate pressure on, usually. And that's that. And again, for the purpose of this, okay, here's my little dude. Hand's kind of messed up, but oh well. Get rid of your outline layer. And there you have a basic outline. Now to color it, select the layer, paint bucket, select your color. This skin tone, go around here, peach. Usually try getting between red and orange. Don't go between the yellowish, whatever you do, because it'll look like a zombie. Been there, done that. Fill it in. Oh well. It's gonna look like weird feet, but oh well. Whatever you want to color. Let's make this a bit of a green. And you might have to zoom in for the tiny nicks and corners. Zoom out. Okay. Now this just looks like a two-dimensional piece, so if you really want to go in detail, you use shading. Different ways to shade, you can use a paint tool with like color overlay or whatnot, but personally I prefer burn and dodge. Go over here, burn tool. Usually try to make sure the protect tones is off. And let's go with midtones right now with a basic idea. Kind of lighting, so the light coming from this direction. Very basic darks. Later we'll probably go in, change it up a bit. For now let's put some highlights in. And protect tones off now. That's too bright. Usually you want light on dark. That is what makes a picture of any sort. It's contrast. That contrast looks two-dimensional, bland. that's the basic midtones. Now let's go to highlights. Highlights makes it much darker. This isn't a black way. Midtones just makes it darker on the color wheel, I guess. So, as you can see, much darker. So that's where the shadows are basically reaching out. Let's add some hair here. New layer, brush tool, about a 9. Okay. I want to change the color though. Now we have sort of an emo kid, so fill that sucker in. As always, you got a little bit of lines around it, so try to fill in what you filled in, if that makes any sense. Before, now you notice how this looks kind of bland. Let's take the smudge tool, strength around 76, and make some like hairs come out. Take the background off. Just so you guys know, I'm using a tablet, so I'm probably much more accurate than I would be with a mouse. If you can get one, they're great. If not, then you can still Photoshop, just probably not as well and accurately. Okay, so there's some basic info of how to do this. Don't know what my time is, so let me stop this. Probably come back with a speed, Photoshop the rest what I did. There's basic shading and drawing techniques in Photoshop. And if you want to know, this is Cam Studio. This is how you record screenshots if you ever want to make one of these yourself. If you do, try to tell me so I can look at it. Okay.